All right, once again, follow me. I'm going to help you stay free, and I'm going to keep you free. That's my ironclad guarantee. Once again, Santos Jr. This is Sunday Night Alive Power Hour. I'm your host, Soldier of Self-Mastery. We're going to be here 30 minutes. I'm keeping an eye on the clock. 30 minutes. What is on your mind today, my fellow friend, my fellow soldier? Things are starting to warm up. Things are starting to clear up. Things are starting to get better. All right. Well, we're getting started on this broadcast number 124. And I want to welcome you from around the world, wherever you may find yourself. We are going to be discussing on this program today. We're going to be talking a little bit about vision. We're going to be talking a little bit about direction and where do we go from here? I'm always asking myself, do you ask yourself that question? And where do I go from here? What's my next step? What should I be doing? All right, we are live. And of course, I'm going to be taking on your questions. If you have a question, I noticed lately that there's always a lot of great activity on my broadcast, and I'm happy with that. I'm glad that I'm drawing people away from online gambling, and I'm glad that I'm drawing people from something that they could be getting involved with, right, for the next 30 minutes that might end up turning into a monster. So we're keeping people from going down that path. We are turning on the light. We are working on turning this light on and keeping it on brighter, right? Sharpen your tools. We want to be like the guy that's cutting trees down with a sharpened axe. So we must sharpen our tools. What's today? Today's Mother's Day, by the way. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all of you that join me today from around the world, wherever you are. I truly hope that you receive more wisdom, greater patience, strength, and greater focus to focus on you versus those things that are around you. Your mom, you are a gift by God given to all of us. So happy Mother's Day to you guys, mothers around the world. All right, let's do some house cleaning. Again, today's topic, I'm going to see who joins us today on this broadcast. Like I said, I'm only going to be here 30 minutes. And believe me, time is going to go by very quick. That's why I started at 4 o'clock. So we're going to see where we go with this program today. I really want to take on your questions. I want us to grow. I want us to come here and walk away with something that we can use for tomorrow or for the next day. All right? Join me as I work on building a 100 million plus soldiers of self-mastery. I want to touch 100 million people. I want to touch 100 million lives around the world. Young people, youth, middle-aged people, older people. And we're not talking just about gambling here. We're not. We're talking about helping people develop greater self-belief, more confidence, a wild imagination so that you can achieve something bigger than what you may have in your life. Maybe you don't want. Maybe you do want to build something bigger, right? That's what we're talking about, my friends. Join me. You can support us over at soldiersofselfmastery.com. And you see the link scrolling below, soldiersofselfmastery.com. There's many different ways that you can support the mission. There's many different ways that you can help me help other people. We're working together as a team. Today's proverb is Revelations 21, verse 1. Join me. If you do read the Bible, I promote the King James Bible. I believe that's the greatest proverb. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and there was no more sea. It's a very interesting verse about a new heaven and a new earth. We're talking vision. I mean, that is the ultimate vision, right? If you could see a new heaven and a new earth, if you could actually see that in your mind and experience it and feel it, that is the ultimate vision, my fellow soldiers. The ultimate vision. All right. So we've gotten that out of the way. I see we have a few people that are joining us by way of Del Monte, CSGO. That's interesting. And from moment to moment, Joe. And then we have Paul, looks like from Canada. Well, we got our first question of the day. I'm excited. By the way, it is Mother's Day. I hope that you guys are enjoying your day. I did a little bit of a barbecue for my wife. A little bit. I went out and got the coals and started the fire. Let them cook. Anyways, first question of the day. I'm in that rabbit hole. What do I do? Well, that's an interesting question. Rabbit, when you say you're in that rabbit hole, what type of a rabbit hole are you in? Did you give in to temptation and go gambling? Is that what you're referring to? If you can be a little bit more, just a little bit more descriptive, I'll definitely get back. I want to see if maybe we can find the solution. That might help me too. All right, that might help me too, man. So I'm only going to be here for 30 minutes, my fellow soldiers. Hopefully, we'll get some good Zam. Hey, guys, Zam. What's up, Zam? So if you can be a little bit more descriptive, again, I want to do my best to give you some ideas, because I know I could provide a solution, right? I could provide a solution. I could provide an idea for you. The hard part is you taking action. That's the difficult part, because if you want something in life, if you want an answer, if you're looking for a solution, you should take that solution and run with it. You should take advantage of it. There's a reason why you're asking this question right now. There's a reason why. We're not just here for fluff. We're not just here to, we're here to have a good time. We're here to grow. We're here to turn on the light. We're here to dig deeper, especially in this time that we're in. Man, it's a difficult time that we're in. It is. It's difficult, but you don't have to let it get in your head. Right? That's the problem with most people. They're letting all this stuff get in their heads, man. See, we have music and we have noise. Music and noise. Music and which one are you listening to? Which one are you going to listen to? Music and noise. So I'm going to see if you can give me a little bit more feedback on that question that you're asking. We could look into it. Let's tear that thing open. Let's see what riches, what jewels we can find in your solution, Del Monte. All right. Nahil, welcome. Welcome to the program. And there's a few people. I know on Friday I was kind of surprised on Friday. Usually I have a pretty good crowd on Friday, and there wasn't that many people. So I'm just kind of wondering where are they at? And I'm open. I'm an open individual here. This is a live broadcast. This is a live interactive broadcast. And I'm willing to take on questions. We could talk about anything you want to talk about in this program. I have ideas, I have experience, I have solutions. I am an active thinker outside the circle. And these types of individuals, like myself, are greatly misunderstood. People that think, you've heard the term, think outside the box. That is accurate. My term is think outside the circle. And I'm on my posts and all that stuff, I'm putting up the little circle with the little 100 sign next to it, letting people know you got to think outside the circle. And that's who I am. And that's why I love questions and I love challenges, because it helps me exercise that thinking. And this is what I'm sharing with people. This is what I talk about in my video. This is life hacking. And you can do some marvelous things with your brain, with yourself, if you truly want to. Nahil says, I missed it Friday. Well, we missed you too, Nahil. We missed you too. I was busy with the kids. Happy Mother's Day. And Wilson, welcome to the program. Wilson, welcome to the program. Good to have you here, man. 124 episodes. Time has gone by, my fellow soldiers. Time. And I truly hope that those of you that do come to this program, I truly hope that you're walking away with something. You know, walk away with something. Let's squeeze, like they say, when life gives you lemons. Of course, I'm not trying to give anybody lemons here. I'm trying to give you some apples. How about some watermelon, right? Squeeze, get the watermelon juice. Squeeze the most out of these episodes, man. You have to. And the fact that we can come here for 30 minutes or a little bit longer and enjoy ourselves, right? You can get some education. You can go elsewhere and get education, but you don't have to pay for it. Here, and it's not about me being so smart. It's about the fact that you're here watching this program and you get thoughts. You get thoughts. I'm triggering those, right? I'm triggering them, but you get them. They're yours. They come from you. Yes, you. Little old me. Yes, little old you. Have you written it down? That's the problem with most people. They don't write it down. They don't write it down. Write it down. In fact, they did a study and they found it was a group of college students. They did some research and they found after they had graduated, it was two groups of college students, I believe. And they graduated. They kind of followed their lives after this research group. And what they found was the group that were writing their ideas and their goals and stuff, they were writing them down on paper, just putting it down on paper, had, I don't know, 70, 80% higher in achievement compared to the other group that didn't write anything down. That's interesting, just from writing things down, man. So it's like magic. Thank you for watching the program, Nahil. Yeah. Jim, fellow coach Jim, entrepreneur Jim is in the house. Good to see you, man. I hope Tucson, Arizona is doing very well. Hope you're doing very well. Energy your way, man. Energy your way. All right, Jim. We're taking on questions. I had a little bit of a topic. I was kind of thinking I may just share just a little bit about me. I was thinking, well, maybe I could talk a little bit about my history, just a little bit. Go back and talk about what I was like as a teen. Just a little bit. I may just talk a little bit. Maybe bring you back into the past. You know what I mean? Just bring you back into the past and look at my life a little bit. Why have I made so many poor decisions? Why did I get involved with so many bad relationships? Why have I nearly lost my life? Well, I think it has a lot to do with some of the stuff that I did when I was a teen. Right? We're not going to talk about my childhood so much. We're going to talk about my teens. Maybe. I'll see. I'll see where you guys are at today. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Let me see. Joe. It's not COVID-19. It's something else. I think it's the pepper from the hot dogs that I ate from my barbecue earlier. Anyways, if quitting gambling totally and never going back is not an option, what do you suggest is the next best for a gambler who has struggled but either can't or does not want to let go? I really can't help anybody. If a person does not want to let go, all I can do is pray for them. Really. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. And another thing that we need to be asking ourselves is this is a very interesting question. Maybe you know the answer. Why is it that some people change? Why is it that some people transform and they go on and live their lives, almost like, with the touch of, with the finger of gold, the Midas touch, right? Everything you touch turns to gold. And then there are others that stumble along in life and, they're just dragging along and they want to change. Maybe they've exposed themselves to Amway, right? Amway's the big, hopefully you'll get what I'm saying here. You get exposed to Amway when you're knee high, and Amway's all, excitement and money and all that stuff. Of course, Amway's been around now for a long time. I'm just using that as an illustration. And here I am getting off track again. But why is it that people change and then others don't change, right? That there's a mystery. Is the situation fixed? I used to actually believe that we're like robots on this planet and everybody's fixed. So if you come into money, that's because it was fixed that way. If you're poor, then it was fixed that way. I used to have this idea. I don't really believe that though. Today I don't. I know one thing, that we're not fully in complete control on this planet. God, the maker, the creator, he's the one that's in control. And he's doing things. He's the one that's the shaker. He's the maker. And we see things happening on the planet that we may not necessarily understand. But another thing that we see is we also see the work of darkness. We see the work of darkness on this planet. I mean, if Satan is real, right? I don't know if you believe in Satan. He's real. He's a real angel. I believe he's an angel. You can't see him. Like a lot of people try to identify him with a long tail, with a little, whatever it is. It's not what we think. But we see the evidence of what's really happening in a spiritual world. We see it in this physical world. It's still very mysterious. And I just, like I say, I look to the Bible and I ask a lot of questions. I ask a lot of questions. In fact, my family probably thinks I'm crazy a lot of the time. Why? Because I like to think outside the circle. I don't want to be normal. I just don't want to be normal. I don't want to focus on confusion. I don't want to focus on the negatives. I don't want to focus on all of these things that drag us down into a rabbit hole, right? I have a choice. I never realized that I had a choice. I really didn't. Because when I was living in my teens, when I was a teenager, I was running. We had a motorcycle club. I remember I was 16, 17 years of age. I was riding a motorcycle back then, leather jacket. This was back in the 70s and 80s. And I thought I was it. I remember one time I took off from the parking lot, Wyndham High. It was slightly raining. Really, back in Willimantic, Connecticut, it was just slightly raining. I don't know why I was such in a hurry. I don't know why. But I took off. Out of that parking lot with my 350 Honda, with my 354 Honda Super Sport. Whang! And I got on that thing. I've been riding for a little while. Next, you know, I'm going up just a little slight hill to go down, right? To go down into town, because my high school was kind of like up in that little country area. And it was raining. It was drizzling, a little bit of drizzle. Next to you know those garbage trucks with the open back? They have the open back container there, the old ones, back in the 60s and 70s. Maybe you weren't around. And next to you know, I'm slipping and sliding because I was going way too fast. And all I could see was that mouth in front of me. Huge mouth, right? A metal mouth. And I'm slipping and sliding a little bit. I'm glad nobody saw me, man, because that would have been. And I barely got control of that motorcycle right before that open mouth of that container truck. I would have flipped right inside there. Those guys wouldn't have heard me. They would have kept going down the hill. I would have been in the back. Who knows where my motorcycle would have been? I could have been back there jumping and screaming, hey, and those guys in that loud, because they're loud trucks, they'd be driving around town. They wouldn't even know I'm there. And imagine if they decided to close the door on me. I'd be like, I'd be like being put in a dryer, right? I shut the door and I'm like in a dryer. And of course, they would probably find me mixed up with all that garbage and stuff. Who knows, maybe dead. Oh, the stories that I can share with you about my teenage years, man. The relationships that I've had. All those relationships. Never wondered why. From one relationship to the next, to the next, to the next. Never really sat down to wonder why. Man, what is wrong with me? Why can't I hold on to a relationship? Why? Man, I'm God's gift to women. Why don't they want to stay with me? I'm not saying I thought that way. Maybe I did. When you have a really bad childhood, you do not have a really good teenage experience. And as I mentioned, we'll just share maybe a couple more. Yeah, I remember one time, let me see. I was in my car. This was after I had an accident. Eventually, a year or two later, after I finally had an accident, really bad accident with that Honda. I finally, after about 4 or 5 falls, I finally totaled the motorcycle and almost killed myself. I remember one day I pulled out of this parking lot. I had this Skyhawk. It was called a Buick Skyhawk. It was a V6. It was like the only one in town. I remember I had the Holley 4-barrel carburetor, had dual exhaust, and it was a V6. I think it was a stick too. I don't know if it was rear-wheel drive or front-wheel drive. Might have been rear-wheel drive. Man, I pulled out of a parking lot one time. Now that time I was trying to show off. I pulled out of a parking lot with that car, spun the wheels, and then I took off forward, put it in drive, and I almost lost control of it in front of a bunch of people. Almost. Actually, I did. The car kind of swerved, and finally I caught on and just kind of humiliated myself just a little bit there, in front of some people. I'm glad I didn't flip that car. These are the things that we do. And we have fun, right? I have fun. I can remember some really good memories when I was a teenager. And of course, when I was 18, a few months after I turned 18, I went into the Navy. So I spent 18, 19, 20, 21 on a ship traveling around the world. And then the next 4 years, I was in the inactive reserves. But I'll tell you, man, when I was on that ship and we traveled the Philippines, Singapore, Hawaii, Africa, France, Germany, Hong Kong. Man, I've been to some really, really nice places. But sadly, and I'll share a little bit more maybe in the future because I know time is moving along and we're running out of time. I made a mess of myself during those years drinking a lot of alcohol. And I didn't know why. I really didn't know why until I ended up in the brig. They threw me in the psychiatric ward for 3 days. They told me, here I'm 21, 22 years of age. The doctor said, HT3 roll, because that's what they call you. They call you HT3 Roland, right? Well, that was my name and my rank. HT3 Roland. If you don't quit drinking now, you're going to damage your liver. I was like 22 years of age. You don't have a care in the world. You're not thinking. You're crazy. You feel invincible. I made a lot of bad decisions when I was younger because of my upbringing, because of what my dad taught me. Now, my dad was very violent. He was very abusive, and we lived in fear. I lived in fear most of my time as a child. Most of my childhood, I was in fear. So that's a little bit about. Let me bring us back. Now we're back to reality. I just brought you out of the past. All right, let me see who's here. I see we got a few people here, and we've got some questions. I just wanted to do something a little bit different here on this episode today. Martha Marie is in the house. Welcome to our episode. Thank you for being here. I hope that you're doing very, very well, and happy Mother's Day to you, Martha. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. I said that earlier, so if you're late, you missed it. I want to thank you guys for questions. We're coming down to the end. I'm going to be here for just a few more minutes. Hopefully I was able to answer Joe. I know we have to be honest with each other. I think more than anything today, we really need to be honest. I need to be honest with people. You know, when I sit down in a coaching session with an individual, and whether it's through video or whether it's on the phone, you want me to tell you the truth. You want me to tell you the truth. People are tired of lies, right? People are tired of confusion. And we want truth. We want to be able to move from where we are. I said, where do we go from here in the beginning, right? With this kind of topic. Where do we go from here? You don't want to stay where you're at. Even if you're comfortable, even if you've got it good, even if you have it good, you don't want to stay there. You want somebody to tell you the truth, because we live in a world. I mean, this whole thing with COVID-19, I don't know if I find this very, very strange. I find it very strange. I find it very sad and very confusing. Not for me, for others, because I know where I stand. And nobody going to tell me I'm confused. If somebody comes to try to tell me that I'm confused, you know what? I'm going to slap you, figuratively speaking. I don't accept that. And neither should you. You don't have to. Anything, you know what? Anything that somebody tells you that's negative, you don't have to accept it. You don't have to accept what your own mind tells you that's negative. You don't have to accept it. If you accept it, you choose to accept it. And the more that you accept those negative things, the more they become a part of your life. The more that you stand up against those things, the stronger and the more confident you become. And those things don't come around as much because they know. You know, that trigger, that temptation to go gamble, that bully that shows up, that bully's going to beat you down. That bully's going to beat you down, my friend. Are you going to let that bully? Are you going to let that bully beat you down? You're going to let it? It's beat you down so many times. Are you going to continue to let it beat you down? Whatever it is, whatever that bully is. That bully can be an addiction, or it could be a person. It could be an individual or an experience. I was going to give you a drink of my rum and Coke. No, I'm not. It's just Coca-Cola with ice. Let me see what Paul says. For me, I try now just to slowly limit myself to what I can afford. Just like with smoking and drinking, when I want, some people can't do that, but it works for me and makes it easier. It depends on, it depends on what it is that you're trying to do. If you want to get away from gambling, you can get away from gambling. Follow me, and I promise to help you stay free. That's my ironclad guarantee. If you want to pinprick, you know what a pinprick is, right? If you're diabetic, you go to draw blood, you pinprick. That's what I call. Honestly, that's what I call. And I'm not here to judge anybody, because you can gamble if you want to. You can. But I'll tell you what's going to happen if you continue to gamble. And you know this. If you are a problem gambler, if you've had problems with gambling already, I can tell you right now, if you keep gambling, that's gonna mess your life up. Right? That's not prophecy, it's the truth. So you have to be determined on what it is that you want in life. Most people today have no real clue of where they're going. Most people today don't know. They just don't know what it is that they want, because they don't know who they are. Do you know who you are? Do you know who you are? Well, Santos, that's a pretty bold question to ask. Well, we need truth, right? I have to ask myself this question, because sometimes I forget who I am. I got to remind myself where I'm going. Life can be fun. It could be challenging, or it could be dry, like the desert, or it could be boring. It really depends on how you make it. It really is. So, Paul, you have to make a decision, my fellow soldier, on where you're going. You could limit yourself. Like I said, that's a pinprick. Eventually, if you've had problems with gambling, it's just going to get you in the worst problems. That's exactly what it is. So I would encourage you. This is here again, keep coming to the program. Watch more videos. If you feel led, I guarantee you. You follow me, I'm going to help you stay free. Why? Because of the fact that that's my passion and that's my goal, man. I give a shit about gambling these days. As much money is going to be out there waiting for those doors. The billboards are popping up. They're going to pop up with new billboards. There's more in fact, they're even advertising on my YouTube channel. I don't give a shit about any of that, because I'm one track mind, man. Gambling beat the shit out of me, man. The truth. Gambling whooped me. It whooped me good. Taught me a lesson, maybe many lessons. And you think I'm going to go back? My friend, if you're here and you're listening to the sound of my voice and you've had problems with gambling, listen to me. Take it from an expert ex-gambler, 32 plus years on and off. It doesn't matter whether it was 32 or 42, it doesn't matter whether it was 5 years. What matters is that if you don't look ahead, if you see the problems, there's the proverb that says, a wise man looks ahead and sees the problem and hides himself. The fool continues on. And we know what happens. That's the proverb. I'm not calling anybody a fool. I'm just saying it the way it is. And I'm telling the truth, man. You want to get free? You want to get free from gambling? If you honestly want to get free from gambling, I'm doing it free for a lot of people. I get emails and I'm doing it free. I'm not, I do ask to support the mission, buy a book, do a donation, but I go live a couple times a week. I'm going live on Facebook. I'm doing twice on YouTube. And when we start getting busier, I probably will not be on here as much. I'd like to, but I got to go out and generate income, right? I got to provide for my family. But I promise, I'm giving you a promise. And there's not too many people that are willing to stand up and say this and look you in the eye and say, you know what? I promise to help you stay free. But you got to want it. You have to want it. You have to want it. I have GABA, Gambling's Addiction Breakthrough Academy. Right now, that's $97. I think it's a good bargain. I think it's a great bargain. I'm offering coaching. If you're ever thinking about wanting to get a coach or somebody to help you out with a problem, you want to meet with me a couple hours a month, you don't have to look no further. I'm right here. I will help you. I will help you. And even my books, with all the mistakes in them, doesn't matter. It's the faith that you can develop in your life. It's the faith that you can derive, right? Whatever that is going to make you stronger, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger, plug in. Plug in, right? We think of these things, right? You know what this is, right? Done. Hey, I'm doing it every day, and I'm going to have fun. I'm going to enjoy my life, man. This world is too sad. This world is too confusing. It is too depressed. It is too low for you and I to be part of that or to add to that mix. No, we got to stand up. We got to stand out, be a little crazy, if you will, be different. And as I said, think outside the circle. You want to do better at your job? You want to have more money? Think outside the circle. You want to break that habit? You want to crush that habit. You want to crush it. You don't want to just replace it. You don't just want to walk away from it. You want to crush it. Think outside the circle. Well, I said that I would be here for 30 minutes, and we've gone over the 30 minutes. You see, my fellow soldiers, let me share something with you. I study a lot. I study more than the average person, okay? That's why sometimes I even lose track of I keep so many notes and I lose track of stuff. But, oh man, I got distracted here for a moment. Where do we go from here, Santos? We have been given a hiatus from gambling and many other vices, but life issues are about to return. Casinos. Where do we go from here? Well, you have to think about what I'm sharing with you here, Joe. The reason why you might be, in fact, I would hope that you're not living in fear, because I was living in fear for a long time. In fact, I remember I was afraid when I would go on a gambling binge a couple of days a week, and then I'd come back, and then my thoughts your mind, right? The thoughts would come back to you, and those thoughts would basically, like, they would say, Santos, you're not going to be able to quit. Santos, you're in trouble, man. You know you're going to go back to the casino. You know that. Or I was getting money, right? A check. And thoughts. I know the thoughts come. And you have to deal with those thoughts. You can't live. You have to make a decision. You have to make a decision. Most people don't have any direction. If you don't have something in front of you, you can easily get distracted. You can become bored. That's the problem that we have. If we don't have steps, if we don't have a plan, if we don't have something in front of us, we will fall. You will fall every single time. You have to fight. You have to stand up and say no. You have to rise up within yourself and say no. The more you do that, the more you're going to believe you can. That's what it takes. The more that you rise up against your subconscious or your conscious thinking, whatever it is, because most of the time we don't even know what's going on in our subconscious. Honestly, you don't really know. You only really know what's going on in your conscious thinking most of the time. But if you stop and listen, you can hear your subconscious. Right? You go to move in a certain direction, exactly what we're talking about here. You go to move in a certain direction and you start feeling pressure. It gets hard to go in that direction. You're fighting your subconscious. You're fighting principles. You're fighting laws. You're fighting the seeds that have been planted there and they're growing. That's why it gets difficult. That's why it's important that you associate with people. That's why it's crazy. What's not crazy, it's important that you associate with good, healthy people, people that are energetic, people like myself. You know, you have to have good people, good friends, good books, good videos that you can go to over and over and use those materials, things in your life over and over. Use them over and over. I don't care how boring it is. I don't care how dreadful. Use them things over and over until they begin to grab. Right? If you're stuck in the snow and you have some chains, snow chains, and you only have 2 tires that have snow chains on them, you're not really gonna get the grip that you need to go forward. Man, you got to get out and slap those chains on. As cold as it is, as much as it hurts, right? Maybe your hands are sore. Maybe your hands hurt from your job and you're stuck in your car. You need to get going. You got to slap them chains on them wheels, brother. I don't know if that's a good analogy, but if you want to go forward, that's the way it is. Let me see. We've got a few people, Jesse, Laura, Zam. And what do you do? What do you anchor your courage to? That's a good question. What do you anchor your courage to? Well, courage is, we all have courage. I believe that we all have courage. I believe that we all do. Again, the challenge is to grow that courage, to grow it. How do you grow it? There's opportunities that are going to pop up right in front of you every once in a while. In fact, you may even look funny in front of people. When you take those opportunities and you jump to it, like they said was a song, what happens? You end up building your courage. You end up building your courage. Now, I'm not sure if that's what I anchor my courage to. I'm honestly, my faith, my foundation, my belief is tied to really 2 things: the proverb and the creator. Everything else that I use helps build me, helps build others, because whatever I get, I share. I try to do my best to give out because I can get more, right? When you teach, when you're a teacher, you teach, you get a double blessing. As you're studying, you're learning, and then you're giving it out, you're getting another blessing. You're opening yourself up to receive more. Something that I want to share before I end this program, there are those of you that are on this program and you're stuck. You're stuck in life. One of the major reasons is because you're not serving. You haven't found a way to release what it is that you have. You have to find that. You must look inside yourself or find a coach like me, right? Like me, somebody that you can depend on, somebody that's accountable, somebody that's not going to feed you BS, somebody's going to be honest with you, and go to work. Go to work. It's either that or we stay where we are. You know, we have a choice. We can stay where we are or we can move forward. And if you're on this program today, I don't see why you wouldn't want to move forward. It's hard for me to believe that you're here or you follow me on YouTube. By the way, if you're new, remember to soldier scribe to this channel. And if you go to soldiersofselfmastery.com, there's going to be a free gift for you there. You can sign up for our weekly email that's going to be coming out. Actually, it's been coming out. And you can see what this 1,000,000-man army buildup is all about. I want to reach 1 million souls, 1 million plus people, to help them change the way they think, the way they see themselves, the way you think. Just, man, I'm excited about that. Just totally excited, man. Lo Santos, my friend, looking good. Wolfie 909. Thank you. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Um, so, I mean, you guys really appreciate me being honest with you guys, right? I'm not here. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time. And I'm starting to realize more and more as we go through this thing that we are, I'm tired of lies. I'm tired of BS. I don't need that. And I don't need it from myself. And I definitely don't need it from the world out there. It's in the world. It's going to happen. So we're winding down, my fellow soldiers. Let me see what we've got here. Casinos are like weeds. If you water them, they grow and become a bad seed. Nightshade. Nightshade, which is deadly poison. Exactly. That's the kind of weed that is. I believe it's called nightshade. Yeah, it's a bad weed. Yes, if I'm correct. Thank you. Let me see. We got another. I hear you, Joe. It's messed up. It's not even about the money. I've been ripped off from bookies. It's just the sheer addiction. You lose thought of control, money, all of it right now. Oh, yeah. One thing that I wanted to share with you guys, too. I noticed, and I'm going to say this because I want to be honest with those of you that are here. You're struggling. If you're struggling, I can tell some of you are struggling. I can tell by the statements that you're making. One of the reasons why you're struggling is because of the choice of words that you're allowing to come out of your vocabulary. Santos, you mean to tell me that if I change the way that I speak, if I change some of the words that I use, it can change my life? Yes. Especially if you keep using, the new words over and over. It's going to change your life. See, people just don't believe. People don't. I give free tips all the time, and it goes right over people's minds because you don't believe. You don't believe it can happen. You don't believe it can happen for you. But if you don't investigate it, if you don't search it, then you'll never know. You'll never know. So we got a few more here. Let me see. I'm afraid of this addiction. I'm being honest. It's real. Thank you for being honest. And that's good. That's what we need to be, right? That's what we want is honesty. That's what begins to create change is honesty when we're honest with ourselves. That's when when you're honest and you start confessing something, that's when you begin to know who you are. You begin to see, man, this is me. This is part of me. It has been 162 days and I'm still in fear of it. Well, hopefully this will help a little bit. Don't fear, but fear itself. What does that mean? Don't fear, but fear. Right? Be afraid of the fear. Don't fear. For instance, 162 days and I'm still in fear of it. What are you in fear of? You got to identify it. Are if you're afraid of something, it's because either you're doubting yourself. And you don't want to doubt yourself after 162 days, brother. That is a phenomenal feat. That is a phenomenal accomplishment. Look at that. Write it down. Take these things. Again, it's about thinking outside the circle. You could take that statement right there, part of that statement that you just wrote down, and you can put that on a little piece of paper. It is, for instance, it has been 162 days. Okay. And instead of writing, I'm still in fear of it, why don't you write, it has been 162 days and I'm crushing it. I'm no longer afraid of the casino. I'm no longer afraid of this thing or the other thing. Read that to yourself a couple times a day. See, my fellow soldiers, this stuff is not going to happen by itself. Your change and your transformation is not going to happen by itself. A lot of people are waiting for something to happen. A lot of people are they're like sitting, right? They're just kicking back. They're sitting in that airplane I talked about on Friday. I believe I talked about that airplane, Flight 104, Captain Bob. They're in the air, man. They're comfortable. They're sitting on the seat. Who knows? Maybe they're in the expensive. What do they call that? The expensive seating. right? But you're there, you're enjoying the peanuts. You got the napkin that says American Airlines on it. You're enjoying that. Who knows? Maybe you're watching TV, the little screen TV, and you're watching X-Men or something. But little do you know that the captain and everybody else on that airplane has no clue where they're going. So you're just sitting there. Yeah, it's a fun ride. It's comfortable. You look out the window, right? Every once in a while, you can see another airplane shoot by. You ever in an airplane and you see another airplane shoot by? Shoom, it feels like you're doing 55 and they're doing about 345 miles an hour. It's weird. We're doing the same thing to them, but it just looks like they're passing us and we're doing the same thing to them. So you could be sitting down on airline flight 104 enjoying the ride with no destination. How crazy is that? Is that for real, Santos? Are people actually living their lives out, moving in directions that they have no idea of? Yes. You know that. You know that. Keep it going, Joe. You're doing good, brother. Don't focus on that other stuff. I mean, does it make sense? What are you going to focus on? Does it make sense? Because you will bring into your life whatever you focus on. I'm going to say that again. Whatever you think about, you will bring about. If you want something in your life, think about it hard enough. It'll come. You want something in your life? Think about it hard enough. Find ways to force that image into your mind. Whatever you got to do. I guarantee you force those thoughts and those images into your mind, you're going to receive what it is that you're thinking about. That's exactly what's going to come into your life. All right. I see we're winding down a few. I'm going to hang out just a little bit longer. MP brother, I just had a childhood friend get out of the pen 4 years. 9-year sentence can always be worse. I have a friend that I interviewed, Sam Krish. He's on my YouTube channel a couple of months ago. He's doing 11 years in state prison. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a state prison, but he's doing 11 years. And he's no longer the sheriff. He was the sheriff of Allen County, Pennsylvania. He'd been there, I don't know, been in the law enforcement 25, 30 years. And he's doing 11 years. He got sentenced in September of last year. Sam Krish. I just heard from his sister recently. I'm hoping to hear from him again. So you pay the price. He paid, he lost a lot. I mean, here's a sheriff, the sheriff of an entire community, lost everything. He told me one day that he walked out of I don't know if he was in the casino, but he walked out of the casino and he grabbed his revolver and he was going to commit suicide, but he didn't have the courage to pull the trigger. He was telling me almost pulled the trigger, but he didn't. So he's doing 11 years in prison, and this is his turnaround. This is his turnaround. So it doesn't have to be that. It doesn't have to get to that place, whatever it is that you're doing. All right, my fellow soldiers, I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it here. I might see if there's one more question. If there's one more question, we're going to cut it loose. And I will see you guys on. By the way, I am, if you're interested, I am giving away a free phone app. Okay. People don't know this, but of course, I frankly, I don't, honestly, I really don't care what people think anymore. But I do trade. I buy crypto. I do a little bit of crypto trading. I buy stocks. and I make a little bit of money doing that. I was doing it for a while and then I stopped, but I recently started again because right now there's a great opportunity. I'm giving it away. It's a free app, completely free. The app's been around since 2013. There's 10 million plus users. So with 10 million plus users, you know that there's something good about that. Well, I would say 2013, 10 million plus users. It's completely free, US only. There's nothing outside the US right now. This app cannot be used outside the US because it is secured through the Trade Commission. It is FDIC, all that. In fact, it's probably more secure than the bank that you store your money in. So I'm giving that app away. If you're interested and you want to get that app, it's completely free. You don't have to buy anything unless you want to. You can open up a free account and you get one free stock. It could be Ford, it could be Bank of America, it could be an airline, it could be whatever. You get one free stock. And right now, because stocks are low, believe me, they are extremely low. If you're into any of this, and even if you want to develop more income later on, you want to invest $5 or $10 or whatever, you can do that. I'll show you if you want. Actually, it's fairly easy. But if you're interested in wanting to make money while you're home part-time, completely free, it's not going to cost you anything, shoot me an email. Go to soldiersofselfmastery.com. Actually, you know what? The link is actually going to be in the description area of this video when I post it. So you can go to the description and you can see in there, completely free. What's the catch? There's no catch, man. The catch is if you want to make more money with this tool, then you got to study. You got to learn a little bit. You got to read. Right? And then you may have to invest $5 or $10 if you want to make money with it. All right. Now, if you want to make the bigger money, well, that's your option too. But it's completely free. And here's the cool thing about it. Okay. Those of you that get the free stock from me, you can actually give that thing completely free to 10, 15 people. And guess what? You can get more stock. You can get more free stock all the way up to $500. Completely free. So listen, if you want something like that and you're interested and you want to, it could be a way for you to develop some extra side income and learn a little bit more about how money works, right? I think we should know how money works these days instead of just throwing it underneath the mattress in the bank. Have you checked your money out lately underneath that mattress in the bank? Probably growing mold and losing value. So $5, $10, $20. I'm currently investing a little bit more because, hey, I'm buying Bank of America stock. I'm buying stock from all these other companies that right now they're super low. When this economy begins to go up, those stocks are going to shoot sky high. Well, when I say sky high, I don't know how high they'll go, but it's free. It's completely free. Yes, you don't have to. You don't have to put in any credit card or anything like that unless you want to buy crypto or trade stocks and bonds or EFTs or whatever. And it's very easy to use. Very easy. Right on the palm of your hand. Let me show you something. And the cool thing about this is you can track live right on your phone. I'll give you a little bit of a glimpse so you can see. It just shows you live. See, it just shows you live. You can go right on your phone and you can see. This is simple to use, folks. Simple. Of course, those are investments that I have, but you can get your own free stock. All right. There's 11 people here, and I'm getting ready to. Which I hope you're right. May not be worth anything. Money, debt, printing too much. Now you got to be thinking outside the circle. Cryptocurrency, right? We're moving into a digital. We are in a digital economy. We are. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all these other kinds of cryptocurrencies. The blockchain. Everything's moving into the blockchain for more security, and that's what we're all about. So crypto, yes. Oh, what is cryptocurrency? Oh, wait a minute. I got to get to this guy. Chill. Whoever would love life and see good days must keep their tongue from evil and lips from deceitful speech. Exactly. Thank you. 1 Peter 3:10. Uh, Cryptocurrency is money. It is money, but it's not like paper money, right? Crypto is a tool. It's a bartering tool. That's what it is. It's a bartering tool. But cryptocurrency is money that is flowing. And the reason why we're moving more and more into cryptocurrency is because, number one, you can send money across the world with cryptocurrency in seconds, and it costs you pennies to do that. That's one reason why people are moving into crypto and digital currencies. If you have an app on your phone, you could be in the jungles of Africa. As long as you have Wi-Fi, you can actually tap into money. Most people that are in poor areas of the world, they don't have the ability to open up a bank account. You can actually buy things and you can send money with crypto. There's more to this. But if you want to learn more, you can, send me an email. I can help you out a little bit, but you can just go online and read what is cryptocurrency. And you can read about there's many different cryptocurrencies in the world. The biggest one is Bitcoin. And I'm sure we've all heard of that one. You could buy, like on this app, you can buy $15 of Bitcoin and hold on to it for 2 or 3 days. And when it goes up, you make $10 or $15, you sell it. And then you buy some other, and you can do that with this app. Well, you can't do it for free if you're going to do it that way, but you can get money for free. You can get, like I said, it's up to you. If you want to do something, and I believe in right now, I believe there's a lot of junk out there, but I also believe that you can actually buy, for instance, if you bought a piece of stock, right? Say you bought a piece of stock from American Airlines, and that stock costs you $20, right? Right now, it's really low. So you bought 3 or 4 of those stocks. You know that American Airlines or these other JetBlue, another one, I think that one is at $23 a stock. You know these airplanes are going to fly pretty soon, right? All these companies, the cannabis companies that are out there, if you see them, they're all growing. For pennies on the dollar, you can invest in cannabis. Of course, they make products to help people and some other stuff. But anyways, I'm just saying, you got to be careful what it is that if you're going to invest in a company, be careful what you invest in and do your homework, right? It's not like gambling. Gambling, you go in there, you draw in your bank account, you're pulling money out of your ATM, you're not being smart, you're sitting there, your eyes, googly eyes over those machines that are just going wacky and stuff and all those numbers, bing, 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 and money and all. You don't want that. That is not good. That is not good. If you're going to buy a stock or you're going to trade or you're going to invest in cryptocurrency, you have to know what you're doing a little bit, because you can make big, or in a sense, it is a gamble. It is a gamble to a certain degree, only if you don't do your homework. But now think about it. You're investing in a good company, maybe a health company, right? You buy a little bit of stock in a health company that's producing a product that's going to help people in Africa or something, or in Russia or in some other place of the world. You get the benefit of helping people with something that would be valuable. Anyways, we're going to be ending here. Any more questions? I want to thank all of you guys that were on this broadcast. How does crypto hold its value or can lose value? What about hacking or fraud, cyber? First of all, the blockchain cannot really be hacked. The reason why it can't be hacked and is because the blockchain. Let me see if I can say it this way. In order for somebody to hack an account that you have on the blockchain, if it's cryptocurrency, they would actually have to hijack thousands of computers at the same time and feed codes into all of those computers at the same time. It's almost impossible to do that. The stronger the blockchain gets, music will be stored on the blockchain if it isn't already. Real estate documents will be stored on the blockchain. The blockchain will become a ledger for receipts. Today, the whole system, the whole monetary system that we have it's not good. It's falling apart. The United States, the dollar is losing value. The dollar is not a complete dollar. It's lost a lot of value. And who knows how much longer the dollar can hold on. Maybe it could hold on for another 5 or 10 years. Maybe not. But you can see, if you study money, you can see that many countries around the world, they're not using the dollar anymore like they used to. Oil. In order to get oil, it used to be that you would have to go through the US dollar to get oil. You don't need to do that anymore. The dollar has lost value big time. It is losing value. That's why people are going into gold and silver. And that's why people are buying, they're finding ways to buy a little bit of a stock. These cars, these autonomous driving cars. Right now, if you can invest $20 or $25 in stock that has to do with these autonomous vehicles, we're going that way. People don't realize it. We are going. Why? Because it's safer. It's safer for the roads. It's less time consuming. It saves money. All of these things. And if you could tie into something like that, a good benefit, we're not going to be able to get away, Or we could just live in doom and gloom. You could choose to live in doom and gloom, look for all the negative and everything that's out there, and just shrivel away in your own comfort zone. You can do that. I'm not. I'm going to help as much people as I can. And I'm getting to the place where I don't give a shit what people think of me anymore. I broke the curse from gambling. I'm glad, because it was a point in my life where I couldn't. And now it's on the bigger and better things. It's on to 100. It's on to 1 million people around the world. All right, I got to turn this thing down. But, if you want to learn more about crypto, you can go to YouTube. I could give you the app, and you can go on there for free, and you can learn a lot. You can learn about crypto. You can learn about trades. And like I tell people right now, if you're into this, you don't have to be into this. Some people are afraid to trade. Some people are afraid to crypto. Some people are just living in total fear. And I understand that's not for you. Okay. But if you want to do something, I'm going to recommend to do it now, because everything is low. In another month or two, all these stocks, Bank of America, all these others, I've got stock with Bank of America. I think I bought stock with Bank of America. It's like $23. I think I got a couple of stocks. You think Bank of America is going to die? I don't think it's going to die out. They just got a loan. Was it $5 billion? Something like that recently. So the numbers are beginning to go up. Anyways, I'm just sharing with people because people are looking for ideas to generate income from home and stuff like that. So, all right, my fellow soldiers, I'm going to put the music on, and we are going. We are going. Well, there's a lot of stuff that they're making from that. And right now it's just pennies, man. I know a friend of mine who made a lot of money. We got involved with was it TD Ameritrade? You talk about difficulties. TD Ameritrade. And I was just buying penny stock. But you know what? I didn't know what I was doing. And I lost most of it. No, about half. That's TD Ameritrade, and you get charged a lot of money for that, for doing trades and stuff. With my app, you don't get charged. All right, my fellow soldiers, I think I'm calling it quits. I don't think I am, and we're going to end here on this note. Well, I gotta find the. There we go. Justin 7, music the best, number 3, non-copyright. All right, my fellow soldiers, I hope that you walk away with something from this broadcast, something good, I hope that this wasn't a waste of your time. I'm going to see you either Wednesday or Friday. Looking forward. Trump is getting ready to open up the economy. I think they fired Bill Gates, and sad to say, Dr. Fauci he got coronavirus himself, I think. So there's a lot of great things happening, and it's turning around. It's turning around. So we have one more. If a decision isn't a hell yes, should it be a hell no? Yes. Yes. It's either hell no or hell yes, right? It's either forward or bust. It's either California or bust, or Canada or bust. One of those. Thank you, Martha. I appreciate you. Happy Mother's Day. We're going to be... Let me ask you, man, when money doesn't exist, why invest in banks when fiat currency will be none? That's why I believe that you should be looking for alternative sources to invest a little bit of money in, because if fiat currency dies, the U.S. is going to replace that money with other type of income. That's for sure. But it's going to be a process. It's not going to happen immediately like these government checks that we got. It's not going to happen that easy. So will we see that day? I don't know, but I think that we should be prepared for it a little bit. I don't think we should be ignorant when it comes to our money. I think we should be smart, and I think that we should be reading and learning a little bit about what money is, where it's going, and how we can get a little bit of it. Because if you plan on living for another 5 or 10 or 15 years on this planet, you're probably going to need a little bit more money than you have right now. So it makes sense to, take off the glasses, the dark glasses, and put on some spectacles that you can clearly see in front of you with. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just here to see who else. There's another question. That's it, man. No more preaching from me. No more preaching. Yup, true. Got you. Buenas noches. All right. I want to thank each and every one of you guys, though. Hey, support the mission. If you read, if you don't read, get a book. You support the mission. Give the book away as a gift. And if you need somebody to help you get through or find and get the result that you want in your life, hey, meet with me a couple hours a week. And we will figure that thing out. Together, we will figure that thing out. That's what I offer through coaching. All right, my fellow soldiers, I will see you on the next episode next Sunday, Sunday Night Alive, Power Hour, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Bring your brain, bring a pen and a piece of paper, and remember to take some notes. I salute you.